Welcome to the Tokenomics Design Space. We built this tool as an upgrade of our tokenomics design framework, and we hope to help all of you guys designing tokens. We know there's a whole bunch of problems, and that's really what we try to address with this solution. There is the uncertainty of how to design a token. We try to address that with a framework, a complete framework to go through step by step, and the lack of knowledge and context we hope to address by just giving you that context and giving you that guidance on where to start, explaining to you why steps are important, and helping you think through a certain order in these steps. And then once you've completed, well, there's always going to be some uncertainty, but it often helps to talk to experts, consult those to, go through the process. So let's have a look at the Tokenomics Design Space. All right, I've just opened up a token design. Awesome Finance, a decentralized money market that we have sort of, as an example, gone through in this Tokenomics Design Space. This is how it looks like. You have on the left side sort of a navigation, all the steps that you can or should go to. You don't have to follow a particular order. If you're more of a power user, you can jump through the things that interest you. But we generally recommend going top to bottom to, make good sense of this whole flow. On the right side then is a changing section. So if you click here, it will open up the specific part, and these will all look fairly similar, right? So there's a prompt up here where we want you to sort of type in your ideas. You can use that to share it with others, just like to think through what we like you to think through. And that's all based on the resource section. So if I go to business model here, there's an explanation of like what typical business models in tokens they are, and the things that you should think through when answering that question, and why this is something relevant for your specific token design. There's another section that also that exists for most of these screens, and that's the examples. So the examples, this will look familiar if you have seen the Tokenomics Hub. So this is based on all the reports, so you can filter through all of them. It will pre-filter by what you have defined your token to be, which in this case is a money market. So here we've got Aave, MakerDAO, and you can zoom into the details and have a look at what the business model of Aave is, and use that for the design of your own token. So this is sort of what these design phases look like. And let's go to the most important one, I guess, or the one that will take you the longest to go through, which is supply and demand. So in this case here, we've got a token design. If you've used our tokenomics design framework with our calculator, this will be familiar. Or if you've used on the tokenomics Hub the calculator, it will look fairly similar. We split this up into supply and demand. Supply on the left side would be all these familiar normal things like treasury, airdrops, investors, incentives. You can jump into a detail screen and kind of modify, change colors, and generally see what's going on, total supply, and all of that. What we didn't really have and only lightly touched upon in the calculator was demand, and we hope to better that within this tool here. And that is, first of all, it's really hard to estimate demand, but sort of we think that by going through a certain amount of or number of steps, it will make it easier. So here you can pick from a demand, like a revenue share mechanism, for instance, add that. It will open up again sort of this form that helps you to think through, name it, and gives you a very detailed explanation of what you should think through, sort of in terms of what mechanisms, the question you should ask yourself, the factors that impact the demand for your token. And it will hopefully help you think through all of this, and you can answer these questions, replace all this text with what you have in mind for your own demand driver. And then lastly, you can of course add demand through different phases. So here, this is really basic. We've decided to go with phases and phase durations of months. So here we're talking about 6 months and another 6 months, and we'll have a demand applied over that time. There's that. So you can add that, play around with that, guess around with that. What this does is that you don't only see this familiar view of your vesting or emission chart, we also have tried to map out the supply with the demand. So the red part here, you see the supply is our over time is what you see here from above. And then the green part is sort of what we have estimated in our mechanisms up here as the potential demand, right? So we'll show you that, okay, right now in the beginning, what we've estimated, there'll be a lot of demand, but then it will be overtaken by the supply. So yeah, it just helps you think through all that, go through the process hopefully in tweaking and adjusting where your demand will come from. And then once you're done, well, yeah, you can use the familiar Tokenomics Hub report view and have a look at that, like share it with others. Just click into it and it will show you here that you're in preview mode. This is not published, so you just, for whoever has the link can see it. And you can share your diagram, your calculations, all of that with team members. Yeah, hope this was helpful. And hope let us know what you think about the new Tokenomics Design Space.